Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So today the date is August 26th, 2025. The time on my side of the world is 10:44 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the New York time. I would say EDT, Eastern Daylight Time. We have Abdullah bin Amin, right?
Yes.
Abdullah bin Amin. He's going for his uh, EduQual Level 6 exam, which is RQF Level 6. Um, the exam, this is related to Diploma in Artificial Intelligence Operations. The exam topic is policy-driven infrastructure provisioning using Backstage, Open Policy Agent, and Terraform for a banking cloud migration, right? Uh, Even though you don't want to work in a bank,
Yes.
but it talks about the banking cloud migration. It can be, you know, there is, by the way, there is no such thing as Islamic bank, you know. So all banks are pretty much the same, pretty much, right? So the policy is create a policy as a code enabled self-service platform using Backstage for infrastructure provisioning in a banking cloud migration. The platform must enforce tagging limits and resource standards automatically using OPA and Terraform. There are multiple learning objectives, which are the key learning objectives: self-service catalog, policy enforcement, infrastructure as a code pipeline, audit and documentation. Uh, these are the four key objectives. It has sub-objectives. I'm not going to go into depth into discussing them because that covers, this is the topic that was given to you, right? You have to emphasize on using the open source tools like Backstage, Terraform, OPA, Gatekeeper, GitHub Actions, Atlantis, Swagger, and GitHub Wiki, right? Um, the format is the same. You'll be given minimum 15, maximum up to 20-25 minutes to go through the presentation, followed by 30 to 40 minutes of Q&A. If you're able to, complete your presentation early on, then we can take a quick stab at the Q&A session as well. The Q&A will cover policy as a code, workflow enforcement before merge, real-world financial use case enforcements, and various questions will be asked as per the topic scope. The topic is pretty big. Okay. Do you have any questions for me before we start?
Yes, I have some notes for the presentation.
That's okay. I mean, I can see your presentation came out like a bit all over the place for some reason. At some place it come, you use a very dark font, right? Try to use lighter fonts. I have told this many times, but inshallah, don't worry. I'm looking for more of the substance. There are marks for presentation in terms of like how it looks like, right? But the most important thing is going to be based on, uh, you know, the substance, right? If it holds that, right? So, for example, if I show you quickly, see this, like it is. You don't need this, you don't need these smudges on the side. I don't know who told you to build that up. We don't need these smudges. I need to see clear, with clarity what the presentation really is all about, right? So I had to fix some of the things like myself to make sure, so next time when you submit, it's better to submit them in PDF because then it
Okay.
makes sense. Sometimes when you export it, it doesn't come out very nice, right? So you have to remove all of this thing, bring it forward, right? So, like, anyway, so I don't have the time to modify this thing. I'm just going to
Yes.
take further. Inshallah. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, Bismillah. Let me start the time. Okay, you may share your screen, please.
Is it visible?
It's loading on my side.
Okay.
No, it doesn't look good. It's concealed. Okay. Yeah, now it is visible. Okay. All right, you have put some curtains on it.
Yes.
Okay, Bismillah. All right, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. You may start now.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Abdullah bin Amin, and I am a student of the Diploma in Artificial Intelligence Operations, EduQual RKF Level 6 at Al Nafi International College. Today, I am presenting a very crucial topic for modern banking. The topic is policy-driven infrastructure provisioning using Backstage, Open Policy Agent, and Terraform for a banking cloud migration. To guide our discussion, here is a quick look at what we will cover today. First, we will start with a brief introduction and overview of the problem and solution. Then we will look at the key learning objectives, what we aim to achieve with this approach. Next, I will present a before versus after scenario that highlights the value proposition of this platform. We will then go into the detail of each component, core component, self-service catalog using Backstage, policy enforcement, IAC pipeline with Terraform and GitHub Actions, audit and documentation for compliance. After that, we will discuss the industry application and open source tools. Then I will present the high-level architecture diagram to show how all the tools fit together. We will also cover the challenges, limitations, and the future work. Then a summary and key takeaways to consolidate the main points. Finally, inshallah, we will have a question answer session. Let's begin with an introduction and overview. In large-scale cloud migrations, the traditional way of setting up infrastructure manually is slow, prone to errors, and very difficult to audit, often leading to non-compliant infrastructure provisioning, especially for regulated industries like banking. The solution we create is policy as code enabled self-service platform. Think of it as an automated system where developers can easily request the infrastructure they need, in which all the bank's rules are automatically checked and enforced before anything is built in the cloud. The core functionality is to automate everything, making sure all the resources are properly tagged, spending stays within limits, and all security standards are met. This makes the process faster, more reliable, and much more compliant. We can achieve this by using powerful tools like Backstage, Open Policy Agent, and Terraform, and many more tools. We will discuss inshallah later. So, what exactly are we trying to achieve with this platform? We have four key learning objectives. First is the self-service catalog implementation using Backstage and Git, so developers can provision infrastructure quickly and safely. Second is the robust policy enforcement with OPA Gatekeeper to ensure all the changes are compliant before deployment. Third is the automated IAC pipeline using Terraform and GitHub Actions, which makes deployment consistent and reliable. And the fourth one is the comprehensive audit and documentation, which provides a clear documentation for auditors. To truly understand the impact of this platform, let's look at a before versus after comparison. This highlights the value proposition of this platform. Before, provisioning was slow with manual approvals. After, it is fast, self-service, and automated. Manual processes were prone to human errors and inconsistencies. Now we have standardized templates and consistent deployments. Previously, compliance was reactive, often involving post-deployments and high risk. This platform offers proactive, automated checks and built-in governance. Manual checks often led to potential misconfigurations. With policy enforced security, we ensure the principle of least privilege. Disjointed logs made tracing difficult, and thus this system provides centralized pull requests, automated snapshots, and a clear audit trail. And developers faced frustrating waits and limited autonomy. Now they are empowered with self-service capabilities, leading to faster iteration. Let's talk about the self-service catalog using Backstage. What is Backstage? Backstage is an open platform that acts like a central developer portal. It's a single place where developers can go to find all the tools, documentation, and resources they need. We configure it with service scaffolding, which means we provide pre-built templates for common infrastructure patterns. So instead of manually setting up a new microservice from scratch, a developer can just pick a template, fill in a few details, and Backstage handles the rest. We can extend this functionality by adding plugins for various cloud resources. The magic here is the Git-based workflows. When a developer initiates the request through the Backstage, it creates a pull request in a Git repository. This approach is powerful because it means every infrastructure change is version controlled, reviewed, and fully auditable, which is extremely important for banks. Now, how do we make sure all these requests follow the bank's rules? That's where policy enforcement with OPA comes in. OPA, what is OPA? OPA is a smart engine that can understand and enforce policies across different environments. Think of it as a universal rulebook. And Gatekeeper is a specific tool that uses OPA to enforce these rules, especially in cloud environments. Now let's look at how we enforce rules using OPA Gatekeeper. We can enforce several types of policies like cloud spend limits, IAM role restrictions, and region policies. The most important part is the simulate policy validation during pull requests, in which policies are checked before the code is merged. If a rule is broken, OPA immediately blocks the request. Non-compliant changes are automatically flagged or blocked. This is called shift left security, catching problems earlier before they can create real issues. Once a request is approved and passes all the policy checks, how does it get built in the cloud? This is handled by infrastructure as code pipeline. We use Terraform, which is the industry standard IAC tool for defining and provisioning cloud resources. With Terraform, you describe the desired state of your infrastructure. It's declarative, meaning you state what you want. To automate Terraform, we use a tool called Atlantis. Atlantis provides a GitOps style workflow. It integrates with Git to automate the Terraform workflows, where Terraform plans and applies are triggered via PR commands. This improves audibility and supports team collaboration. GitHub Actions acts as CI/CD orchestrator. It automatically triggers the entire provisioning workflow whenever a pull request is merged. That automate the policy checks and deployment steps. This ensures that infrastructure is deployed consistently and reliably every single time without manual intervention. For banks, audit and documentation is not just a good practice; it is a strict regulatory requirement. This system automatically generates open API and Swagger reports for policy failures. If a policy check fails, it provides a clear, machine-readable documentation of non-compliance attempts, especially that explaining exactly what rule was broken. Even more importantly, we push compliance snapshots to GitHub wikis for audits. This means at regular intervals, we take a snapshot of infrastructure's compliance status and store it in a GitHub wiki. So, who benefits most from this kind of platform? This platform, this platform is specifically designed for banks and insurance firms that are migrating their operations to public cloud environments like AWS or Azure. And these organizations have very strict IT governance and control requirements. This platform directly addresses those needs by ensuring regulatory compliance, enhancing security, and improving operational efficiency. To build this platform, we rely on some open source tool and cloud native tools. Uh, some are here: Backstage, Terraform, OPA Gatekeeper, GitHub Actions, Atlantis, Swagger, GitHub Wiki. These tools create a powerful and flexible system that meets the demanding needs of these industries. Let's look at the high-level architecture of this platform. This diagram shows how all the different tools work together to create an automated workflow, ensuring that security and compliance are built in from the very start. Developer interacts with the backstage, and developer uses the service catalog to select a template, which automates the initi- which aut- which automatically initiates a Git-based workflow. This workflow creates a pull request in a central GitHub repository. Now, this is where the policy gate comes in. The moment a pull request is created, it triggers a GitHub actions to validate policies. This action uses OPA Gatekeeper to check if the proposed infrastructure changes are compliant with banking rules. The result of this check is either an approved or rejected PR. If the PR is rejected, a policy failure report is automatically generated. We use tools for this OpenAPI and Swagger to document this failure. And these reports can be stored in GitHub Wiki as a snapshot for audits. This ensures we have a complete and transparent audit trail even for failures. If the pull request is approved and merged, a new GitHub action is triggered. This time it's not for validation, but for deployment. This action calls Atlantis, uh, which uses Terraform to run the apply command. This is how the actual infrastructure is provisioned in cloud environments like AWS or Azure. This platform offers huge benefits. It is also important to be realistic about its challenges, limitations, and future works. We need to acknowledge what makes this difficult and how we can improve it in the future. First, let's look at the some challenges while implementing this system. Writing all the rules for policies is not easy. It takes a lot of time and a deep understanding of business and cloud setup. Integrating new cloud native workflows with an existing on-premise or older systems can be a big challenge. This is not just about technology, it requires significant cultural shift within the organization for developers and operation teams. Next, there are some limitations we should be aware of. Setting up the entire tool chain requires a lot of time, especially when integrating across CI/CD and policy tools. And the cloud and the regulations are always changing. This means OPA policies, templates, and platform components require frequent updates to remain effective and relevant. Finally, let's talk about the future work for this platform. In the future, we can integrate AI/ML for dynamic policy adjustments based on the observed usage patterns and cost trends. We can build more advanced tools to monitor spending that automatically fix small budget issues. And right now, we are focused on AWS and Azure. In the future, we can extend this platform with other cloud providers to cover more diverse cloud environments seamlessly. To summarize this presentation, today we focused on transforming the cloud migration into banking through policy-driven infrastructure provisioning. The problem we identified is the manual provisioning and non-compliant infrastructure provisioning in regulated banking environments. And the solution we create is a policy-driven infrastructure provisioning self-service platform that automates the compliance and operations. This approach leads to enhanced compliance and security through automated policy enforcement, streamlined operations with faster provisioning, improved auditability with transparent rails, and empowered developers with self-service capabilities under guardrails. This platform fundamentally transforms how banks can securely and efficiently migrate and manage their infrastructure in the cloud. I have some images to show you that I practice on the backstage and GitHub Actions. Can I show
Sure, sure,
these?
please.
Okay.
So you did all of this thing when you were preparing for the exam?
Yes.
That's good, mashallah.
But it takes a lot of hard working and days and night.
Well, that's the whole idea. The whole idea is to prepare you, right? So that when you go for the interview,
Yes.
you can show them what you know, right? Recently, we have started recommending people to go to Saudi Arabia, right? So if you go to Saudi Arabia with your AI Ops diploma in your hands, completing Al Razak program, we can send you over there for interviews. You can land anywhere. The rate that we have received, essentially, let me tell you something. What is the rate that we are seeing right now? So it's 17,000 to 25,000 Saudi Riyal per month. And that's a very good salary, right? Per month. So if you complete Al Razak, all the domains, 23 domains, inshallah, and you
Inshallah.
complete, you have to put in the time. Possibly,
Yes.
if you can pass QB astronaut exam, that is enough for you, along with the IOPS, to secure the job in Middle East, like in Saudi Arabia. If you want to go to UAE, the rate is pretty much the same because both the currencies are similar, right? Show me what you would like to show me, please.
This is the backstage uh, interface. There, I filled this form to create a new S3 bucket, and you can see that I am intentionally set the bucket visibility to private. In the Terraform code, I put the visibility public, That's why I put the intentionally bucket visibility to private to show you what happens when we violate a policy.
So you installed Backstage locally on your laptop.
Yes, in the virtual machine. Yes.
MashaAllah. Good, good. Okay, proceed.
Then it completes the process. Uh, then first it fetch the files from the folder where I saved all that content, Terraforms files and GitHub Actions files, and then it published to GitHub. And it on the GitHub it creates a repository with the name that is required in the template, and then it create a pull request that actually checks the Terraform code and the Backstage request. It automatically checks the code and the Backstage template that that way it create a pull request. After that we see it. After that we review it. If it is matched, then we can merge it. If it is not matched, then it automatically blows the pipeline.
Okay, that's good, MashaAllah.
Yes.
And this is your GitHub.
Yes. First, I will try with the public visibility with the public. Then there is no conflict. When I try with the uh, bucket visibility to private, then it blocks the pipeline.
Hmm. So you're using OPA evaluation command and ensure that JQ is installed. So when you change the bucket, the OPA was showing different. Some checks were not successful. One failing check. What was that? Pull request. Okay, you can't do that.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Good. MashaAllah. Next.
This is the last one.
Okay. All right. Jazakallah khair. You can
Yeah.
stop the screen, please.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So let's jump into the Q&A side. Uh, okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. All right. So the presentation you provided was very good, mashallah. Like it covers all the key aspects, what we are looking for. You also provided lots of, you know, sample shots, but it was not covering Swagger and some of the other things, right? But you were able
Yes.
to cover some of the aspects,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so let's jump into the Q&A quickly. Let me open that. Okay, so Bismillah. So what the primary problem statement, so what is the primary problem statement by policy-driven infrastructure provisioning in banking cloud migration? What are you trying to show?
Uh, means the solution we create before that in the
Yeah,
cloud
I mean,
in the banking.
what is the primary problem that resides in the banking infrastructure? And to address that problem, you presented your solution. What is that primary problem?
Sir, in banking, that traditional way of setting up infrastructure manually is slow and
Yes.
prone to errors and very difficult to audit, often leading to non-compliant infrastructure provisioning, especially
That's
for
correct.
regulated industries.
So the answer said it right. The answer is the manual infrastructure provisioning in regulated industries like
Banking.
banking
Yes.
and financial sectors is error prone, right?
Yes.
Inconsistent and often non-compliant.
Yes.
And that's why the policy-driven model ensures automated enforcement of tagging limits and compliance requirement. This question came from your topic itself, right? I just wanted to know what is the problem statement that one should know about, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how does things happens in Pakistan where you're from right now? What is the banking infrastructure like?
I didn't explore the banking system in Pakistan.
What is your
Uh,
presumption like? What happens?
I
Do you
think
think do you think all these banks and financial institutes they do have these practices?
I think they don't have, especially in Pakistan.
What is the primary reason for that?
Because of uh, less cybersecurity engineers, and less knowledge about security.
No. No, no, you answered this question in the first answer. In my first question,
Yes.
you said that.
Mm.
The banking industry is what? It's heavily what?
Uh,
It's heavily regulated, right?
yes, it's heavily regulated and depends upon
So,
their IT governance, governance compliance, strict governance rules.
yeah, so the problem is like in a country where there is the governance structure is very weak, right? You will never be able to manage that banking industry per se properly. No matter what they say, no matter what the State Bank of Pakistan says, no matter this and that and whatnot, right? The difference between the Western countries and the countries in the East, the Southeast, is basically it boils down to one factor and one factor alone, and those are basically that essentially the regulation doesn't exist. And even if it does exist, rule for thee and not for me is one of the things that they do. Rules are for you, not for me, right? So that's another problem. So what you will never be able to implement this right now in the existing context of Pakistan. And that's why when you go to Middle East or Western countries, you'll be able to see and really appreciate that they have these things in place, right? So that was the question I had. Um, okay, so I didn't mark the second question. It was just a question that I wanted to ask you, so don't worry about it. So how does Backstage act as a self-service catalog in this solution?
Backstage acts as a central developer portal where developers uh, the where developers can go and find all the tools, documentation, and resources they need, in which all the bank's rules are automatically checked and enforced before anything is built in the cloud. The solution we create through the Backstage is policy as code-enabled self-service platform.
So can one say that Backstage provides developers with a centralized portal where services scaffolding templates can be used, right? Do you know what
Yeah.
scaffolding means?
I think uh, plugins, pre-built templates.
When you're designing a building, right? So let me show you.
Yes, the infrastructure blueprint of the building.
No, no, no. You know, when you're designing a building, you see this. See, this is a very good example, right? So when they're building up the building before outside the infrastructure, they have these, you can say um, a kind of structure that supports the engineers to go in and out, right, of the main building. This is known as scaffolding. Setting a solid foundation in scaffold safety, I mean, I'm giving you an example. So essentially, the tool that we use is based on scaffolding, right?
Scaffolding, yes.
So Backstage is a scaffolding where service scaffolding templates can be used to initiate provisioning requests.
Yes.
This is what happens. Okay. Uh, what does what role does OPA gatekeeper play in enforcing policies?
Um, OPA is a smart engine that can understand and enforce policies across different environments. Uh, we enforce rules using OPA Gatekeeper. We prevent developers from requesting expensive resources, which keeps us within budget. We ensure everyone only has the exact permission they need, for which is a key part of the security. And we enforce rules about where data can be stored for a resource only. It is only in approved region or not.
Okay. Explain the before versus after value proposition illustrated in the presentation that you have.
Uh,
The presentation you said before and
yes.
after
Okay.
value.
Okay.
Explain that to me, please.
Uh, if we talk about the speed of the infrastructure, before provisioning was slow with manual approvals. After it is fast, self-service, and automated. And if we talk about the consistency, the manual processes were prone to human errors and inconsistencies. Now we have standardized templates and consistent deployments. If we talk about the compliance, previously compliance was reactive, often involving post-deployments, audits, and high risk. And now this platform offers proactive, automated checks and built-in governance. If we talk about the security, manual checks often led to potential misconfigurations. Now, with the policy enforced security, we ensure the principle of least privilege. And if we talk about the auditability, disjointed logs made tracing difficult, and now this system provides centralized pull request, automated snapshots, and a clear audit trail. If we talk about the developer experience, previously developers faced frustrating waits and limited autonomy. Now they are empowered with self-service capabilities, leading to faster iteration.
Okay. Okay. All right. So in the architecture diagram, explain the flow of provisioning requests from backstage to cloud deployment. How would it
Uh,
be?
yes. Can you repeat the question?
So in one of the architecture diagram, you have explained the flow of provisioning request from backstage to cloud deployment. Explain
Okay.
to me that whole flow that you've explained over here.
Okay. First, developer uses the backstage interface to use the service catalog to select a template, which automatically initiates a Git-based workflow. And this workflow creates a pull request in central GitHub repository. Now, the moment a pull request is created, it triggers the GitHub actions to validate policies. And this action uses OPA Gatekeeper to check if the proposed infrastructure changes are compliant with banking rules. And the result of this check is either an approved or rejected PR. If the PR is rejected, a policy failure report is automatically generated. We use tools for this OpenAPI and Swagger to document this failure. And these reports are automatically stored in GitHub Wiki as a snapshot for audits. And this ensures we have a complete and transparent audit trail even for failures. If the pull request is approved and merged, a new GitHub action is triggered. This time, it's not for validation. Uh, it's this time for deployment. This action calls Atlantis, which uses Terraform to run the apply command. This is how the actual infrastructure is provisioned in cloud environments like AWS or Azure.
Okay. Okay. So why is enforcing region policies critical in a banking migration scenario?
Uh, if the banking
So imagine the banking data needs to be migrated from from European Union over to USA. Why is it important that we ensure that the data is protected? Why is that the reason? Why it is so critical in a banking migration scenario?
uh, because uh, if we enforce these rules through OPA, where data can be stored. So if we enforce rules through the OPA, we can we
No, I'm
can
not. I'm not interested in the OPA. OPA is no. This question is related to why is it so important? You know, so the data in UK, in Europe, first of all, can you bring that European customers data over to the US?
uh, I think the banking authority requires the customer data must stay in approved regions. If a workload is deployed in
Yeah,
an
but
approved
why?
region,
Why? What are those regulatory frameworks that requires the European
I
customer?
think GDPR, PCI DSS, I think.
Yeah, why is that requires? What are the three reasons that What is the primary reason that GDPR and PCI-DSS and all these, they require one of the
Because
key laws?
because they protect customer trust and maintain compliance
So let me
with the
ask you, you're in Pakistan, right?
yes.
When the Indians attacked unprovoked uh, in Pakistan, what did they violated?
uh, Boundary.
What do you call that?
Uh,
Sovereignty violation. So regulatory frameworks like GDPR and PCI-DSS requires data sovereignty.
yes, data sovereign.
Storing workloads and sensitive data remain in designated jurisdictions. You cannot move European customs data over to the US, especially now. No way.
Okay.
The Europeans will say, "No way, Jose," because they will never allow that to happen, right? So, because of the privacy related jurisdictions. So, the data residency and data sovereignty both are important. Region policies prevent accidental deployment outside compliant regions. This is very important for you to understand, okay?
But I think in Asia it is not applicable.
Sorry, what is not applicable?
The data sovereignty and data region policies of
Is
the
it not
person
applicable for what?
in Asia banking.
No, yeah, the question was related to European. In Asia, like in China, it is. Even in India, it is. In all the countries, in Singapore and all these Indonesia, Malaysia, they all have it. You can find Pakistani banking data, national ID data available online.
Yes.
The reason is that there is no security because there's a culture of, you know, there's a lot of isms, nationalism, nepotism, favoritism, right? So that's why people who are sitting on the main positions, they come from different power sectors, specifically from the most powerful institutions, right? And when they come in there, they do not implement all these controls because they are there not through merit, but they are there through basically a corruption system, right? So that's why you will not find these things, and that's why it is readily available. So, what challenges are associated with policy definition of in OPA, and how can they be mitigated?
Um, there are some challenges that like policy complexity in which writing all the rules for policies is not easy. It takes a lot of time and a deep understanding of business and cloud setup. And legacy systems like integrating the new cloud native workflows with an existing on-premise or older systems can be a big challenge. And if we, this is not just about technology. It requires significant cultural shift within the organization for developers and operations teams.
Okay. Uh, how do compliance snapshots in GitHub Wiki enhance governance in financial institutions?
How to, uh, can you repeat your question?
How do compliance snapshots that you take in GitHub Wikis enhance governance in financial institutions? I mean, why do we use GitHub Wikis?
Um, so GitHub Wiki is important because uh, uh, GitHub Wiki is important because it is a documentation feature inside GitHub repositories where we can store information in an organized way.
What does
So,
it provide? What is the main purpose of it to provide?
uh,
Acts as what?
of compliance snapshots or
It
Swagger OpenAPI reports.
acts as an immutable version control audit records that show compliance state over time, right? That's what it does. Okay. All right. Last question. What organizational challenges arise when shifting from manual provisioning to a policy driven model? And how should leadership address them?
From manual changes to
I mean, when you implement something like that, what are the challenges that you will see organizations will face when you want to bring in a new model from manual to automated model, right? Policy driven model. What challenges they would arise, and how would the leadership would address them?
uh, I think the first challenge they face about the for the employees, because the employees are working with the manual processing. They are not working with the automated workflows, automated pipelines.
So what do
Uh,
you call that? What do you call it? Challenges include what? Challenges include, give me three, four challenges.
the f- I think the first one is employees. You just
Oh,
want
and the
names.
employees is not a challenge. What do you call a challenge? Like, challenge, for example, cultural resistance. The culture is not there, and now the culture has always been manual work, and now it's policy driven, automated. That will be
I
one.
th-
What
yes,
will be
cultural
other?
resistance
What
and
will be
skill gaps, process
retraining staff?
redesign.
You have to retrain everyone. What is the third
Yes,
challenge?
uh, trust building, change management.
Change, yeah, I mean, change management, trust building, process adoption. You have to adopt the new process, right?
Yes,
The leadership should adopt change management practices, as you mentioned, provide developers training and implement phased rollouts, right? So, yeah, okay. All right. Let me wrap up. The exam is done. I'm done with the exam. Okay. You can, how was the exam?
good, but it's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah,
The exam is different, right?
yes,
I always try to see what happens, how, people do it. Uh, so, okay. So this 5, 3, 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So your exam was good, mashallah. I mean, the first presentation, it went very well. You had a good presentation, but it was heavily, the scheming and all those things were very dense, right? But
yes,
the substance was there. So you scored 21.5 out of 25. Okay. There are different domains that I marked. For example, the presentation is marked as per content mastery. I've scored that. Organization, presentation skills, use of visuals, and usage of AI tools, right? So I look into consideration all of these things. Uh, so it was good, mashallah. So you scored 86% in the presentation, right? 21.5 out of 25 is 86%. In the Q&A, you secured 20.5 out of 25, right? And some of the questions in the beginning, the questions you scored 2.5, then 2.5, 2.5, right? In the 7th, 8th, and ninth question, you went downhill. Like you secured 1.5, 1.5, right? 2.5. In the last one, it was good, mashallah. So altogether, it was 82%. So if I have to give you the final marks, there will be um, altogether 84%, mashallah. Okay. So you passed. You passed well with merit.
Alhamdulillah.
Mashallah, alhamdulillah, that's good. Now, here's my feedback, right? Uh, Normally, people don't show snapshots and everything of their work, right? It seems that you have put extra effort in doing all of those things. Okay. I also saw that you are also doing the labs as well. So this is my recommendation for you, right? You have secured a job at Rifa University, right? But that is not your main primary job. If you want to
Yes.
go and deeper into DevOps, you don't need to talk to Abdi or anyone. You need to go and do the labs. If you complete the Red Hat portion of it, and you complete the Kubernetes and the containerization part of it, and then there are also DevOps tools. It covers all the latest tools coming in and out, right? That should be sufficient for you. If you can pass your QB astronaut exam, if you can do that, that would be better. If you complete the whole Al Razak program, you can secure a much, much better job in Saudi Arabia. So we do assist in getting you there, inshallah. Okay. We have recently started our Series A funding round in Saudi Arabia. And I've already started talking to different organizations. And there are organizations, in Saudi Arabia, which brings in talent for work purposes, right? So sometimes these organizations, they misuse and abuse the people who are coming out. So for example, I know that, and we are trying to not deal with them because this is not Islamically allowed. We have found companies there that will get you over there, but they will pay you very low from the market, right? Now, normally these jobs are surveyor jobs, electrician jobs, and stuff like that, right? But if you go in there as a DevOps engineer, right, with AI ops under your belt, and you completed all the Al Razak labs, you can easily secure, as I said, 15,000 to 25,000, 17,000 to 25,000 Saudi Riyal per month. That's a very good salary for Ajam. Like you're an Ajam, I'm an Ajam. Don't worry, I'm an Ajam as well, right? Only for the Arabs, they have a different pay scale. Unfortunately, it's a well known truth. It exists. It's a hidden something in the market. Everyone knows it, everyone acknowledges it, no one talks about it, right? But there's a good news, and you know, on the other side as well, the local Saudi talent is not there. So you have an opportunity to go in and make your name, inshallah. Okay. So
Inshallah.
मेरा मशवरा है तुम्हारे लिए. This is my
Yeah.
sincere advice to you. I'm going to talk to you in your own language. Since the exam is over, मेरा तुम्हारे लिए मशवरा है कि अल रज़ाक की सारी labs complete करो. 6 months. The first 6 months are very important. It
Okay.
covers Red Hat, the whole catalog, OpenShift, ये वो सब कुछ. So you will be able to apply after doing that in Middle East, in UAE और सऊदीया. दो जगह पे अप्लाई करो. ठीक है ना? कतर, बहरीन, ओमान, कुवैत, 6 countries हैं जहां अप्लाई करना चाहो तुम कर सकते हो. You're 26 years old, right? 25 years old, right? You still have a lot of time. Get your IELTS का exam बेहतर बनाओ. There are 5-6 requirements for getting job placement through us. You have to complete the whole diploma within 1.5 year for AI ops. Complete Al Razak. You can only complete Al Razak अगर तुमने शुरू से शुरू किया हो. Since तुम अभी बीच में आए हो, you still have time. तो old students को हम extra साल देंगे कि जाओ ठीक है 1 साल के अंदर सारा काम खत्म करो. For the older students, even though if they have completed the diploma, they still have time. They have to go in and they have to renew because Al Razak में labs वगैरह सब ready है ना तुम्हारे लिए. It's already there.
Yes.
Everything is there. All the containerization labs are there. Everything is there. If I have to go back and see and open, let me see if I can. Right? Hold on.
सर अगर हम आइल्स की जगह पर डुओलिंगो का टेस्ट दें तो वो
ये भी एक्सेप्टेड है. आइल्स मैं आपको बता देता हूँ व्हाट वी विल एक्सेप्ट. मैं इसमें बता देता हूँ. होल्ड ऑन. ठीक है इंशाल्लाह. आई विल आंसर दैट टू यू इन अ मिनट. सो आई एम ऑलरेडी वर्किंग विद मल्टीपल कंपनीज के साथ मैं काम कर रहा हूँ जिसमें मैं उन लोगों को बेसिकली हम लोग प्रोवाइड करेंगे. इसमें हमारा कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है. हम सिर्फ तुम्हें कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं और वहाँ तक लेके जा रहे हैं. ठीक है ना, वी आर नॉट टेकिंग एनी मनी फ्रॉम इट। ये सारी कंपनीज जो हैं आमतौर पे जो सारे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स हैं, होता ही है कि ये बादशाहों के बच्चे आपस में बांटते हैं, ठीक है ना। इसमें हमारा कोई अमल दखल नहीं है, हम सिर्फ उनको लोग प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं जो हाईली क्वालिफाइड लोग हैं। इसके अंदर क्वांटम कंप्यूटिंग की जॉब्स हैं, उसकी सैलरीज अलग हैं। अगर तुमने एआई के साथ क्वांटम कंप्यूटिंग किया हो, अगर तुमने एआई के साथ नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी किया, उसकी लैब्स उसकी अलग हैं, उसकी लैब्स हैं, उसका पूरा प्रोग्राम है। यू हैव टू गो एंड कंप्लीट द प्रोग्राम। जो मैं अभी काम कर रहा हूँ मुख्तलिफ प्राइवेट एंड गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज के साथ और इन्वेस्टर्स के साथ, वो ये कि उनको 2030 विजन के लिए बहुत सारा स्टाफ चाहिए, ठीक है ना। 2030 सऊदीया विजन है। 2030 सऊदीया विजन के अंदर उनको ड्रोन्स एंड ऑटोनोमस सिस्टम्स पे काम करना है, क्योंकि उनके पास $70 बिलियन वो आर्मी में लगाते हैं। दे स्पेंड $70 बिलियन एवरी ईयर, बहुत बड़ा पैसा है, ठीक है। तो उनको उसके लिए बंदे चाहिए। दे डोंट हैव द सऊदीज। अगर वहाँ 10 लोग हैं तो 5 सऊदी हैं और 5 एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, अच्छा, ठीक है ना। तो दे डोंट हैव दैट काइंड ऑफ टैलेंट राइट नाउ। दे नीड टू हैव मोर किड्स, और उनका बर्थ रेट भी कम है, ठीक है ना। सो दैट्स वाई दे लुकिंग फॉर मोर पीपल। एंड ऑनेस्टली मुसलमानों के साथ, नो मैटर व्हाट हैपेंस, मुसलमानों के लिए ज़्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं, बिकॉज दे आर ट्राइंग टू, वो बिल्ड कर रहे हैं अपना पूरा एक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जिसमें वो उनको रखना चाह रहे हैं। बिकॉज नो मैटर व्हाट हैपेंस, इफ़ एनीथिंग गोज रॉन्ग, सबको पता है कि मुसलमान जान दे देगा। जो वहाँ पर जगहें दो हैं, मक्का और मदीना, उसके लिए दे कैन गो टू एनी लेंथ्स, ठीक है ना। तो लॉयल्टी एंड वला वल बरा इज देयर, ठीक है ना, मुसलमानों की। एंड दैट्स वन ऑफ द रीजंस। और पाकिस्तानियों का टैलेंट बहुत अच्छा है, बांग्लादेशी भी है, उसमें इंडियन मुसलमान भी हैं, तो उनके लिए अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ ज़्यादा है, ठीक है। तो तुम्हारे पास बहुत अच्छे चांसेस हैं, ठीक है। सो यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर योर सेल्फ, बट उसके लिए तुम्हें तैयारी करके जाना ज़रूरी है। अब जब तुम इस पोर्टल में जाते हो और तुम उसको एक्सेस करते हो, तो ये तुम्हारा पोर्टल है, राइट। इसमें बहुत सारी लैब्स हैं। अन्नाफे क्यूबरनेटीज लैब, मैं तुम्हें अन्नाफे का पार्ट 2 अलरजाक आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस ऑपरेशंस खाली दिखा रहा हूँ। दैट्स व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, ओके। क्योंकि तुम्हें वो ख़त्म करना है, पार्ट 1 पार्ट 2 दोनों ख़त्म करना है। अगर तुम्हें हमारी तरफ से जॉब प्लेसमेंट चाहिए, यू नीड टू कंप्लीट दीज थिंग्स, ठीक है। अपना उंगली उठाओ, पहले उठाओ, उस पर लिखो यहाँ पर एग्ज़ाम पास करना, कर लिया, ठीक है ना। अल रज़ाक पार्ट 1 करना, यहाँ लिखो एग्ज़ाम पास द एग्ज़ाम। सेकंड,
एग्जैक्ट।
अल रज़ाक पार्ट 1 कंप्लीट, अल रज़ाक पार्ट 2 कंप्लीट, ठीक है ना। लिंक्डइन का कोर्स, यू ऑलरेडी डन इट, आई एम श्योर, राइट,
यस।
ठीक है ना।
यस।
उसके हिसाब से तुम्हें अपने आप को ऑप्टिमाइज करना, सब कुछ करना है। फिर कम्युनिकेशन कोर्स, पासिंग द इंग्लिश एग्जाम, आइल्स और डीईटी एक्सेप्टेड, ओके। ड्यूलिंगो इंग्लिश टेस्ट इज चीपर, $50-70 का, समथिंग लाइक दैट, राइट। सो ये 5 रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं। आर दे कॉम्प्लिकेटेड? नो,
नो।
वेरी सिंपल, ठीक है ना।
यस।
यू हैव एवरीथिंग रेडी, तुम्हारी हर चीज वहां पर रेडी है। आई मीन एवरीथिंग इज प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर यू एंड इट्स देयर फॉर यू, ठीक है। अगर तुमने वो की, यू विल बी एबल टू गो फॉर देयर, राइट। अब तुमने यहाँ पर गए, देखो यहाँ पर डोमेन्स हैं, देयर आर मेनी डोमेन्स इन अल रज़ाक, राइट। इफ आई हैव टू शो यू, और मैं अगर तुम्हें दिखाऊं, ये 6 मंथ्स की डोमेन्स अगर तुमने की, देन यू विल बी एबल टू गेट द रेज्यूमे फ्रॉम अस। फिर हम तुम्हें रेज्यूमे देंगे। अब हम किसी को रेज्यूमे नहीं दे रहे, ठीक है। हम कह रहे हैं जाओ अल रज़ाक कंप्लीट करो, ठीक है ना। सो ये अल रज़ाक है। अल रज़ाक के अंदर मल्टीपल लैब्स हैं, मल्टीपल डोमेन्स हैं। एवरी डोमेन इज क्राफ्टेड एज पर योर ऑब्जेक्टिव्स। जो तुम्हारा ऑब्जेक्टिव है उसके हिसाब से हम उसको क्राफ्ट करके दे रहे हैं, राइट। तो इसमें तुम्हारे पास ये सारी हैं अभी, और ये सब 22 डोमेन्स हैं। 23वीं डोमेन क्या होती है? जो तुम करना चाहते हो। सो इफ यू से केवाईसी में तुमने भरा है ना, सो वी
जी
नो,
जी।
हमें तुम्हारे बारे में सब पता चल गया है। सो वी हैव ऑल द डेटा। सो नाउ वी विल प्रिपेयर यू फॉर मिडल ईस्ट, जीसीसी कंट्रीज एंड फॉर नॉर्थ अमेरिका। तो वहाँ जो जॉब्स हैं और जो तुमने इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग की है, उसके हिसाब से हम तुम्हें तैयार करके भेजेंगे कि यार इसने इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग की हुई है, इसको एनर्जी सिस्टम्स के बारे में पढ़ाओ, इसके ये दो ये दो। सो वी विल गिव यू सेपरेटली, समथिंग सेपरेटली, राइट। उस
इसके लिए टाइम
लैब
डोमेन
के
भी है।
अंदर, उस लैब्स के अंदर, लेट मी फिनिश। ये बहुत सारी लैब्स हैं, पार्ट 1 पार्ट 2 ओपन सोर्स, देन देर इज कंटेनराइजेशन, एंड देन देर इज डॉकर्स, एंड देन ये अगेन दे विल कीप ऑन कमिंग। ये पूरा क्यूबी एस्ट्रोनॉट है, क्यूबी गोल्डन एस्ट्रोनॉट इज कमिंग, आई बिलीव। जो बैक स्टेज है ना, सो क्यूबी गोल्डन, astronaut, right? I think golden QB astronaut. They call it golden QB astronaut. उसके जो एग्जाम्स हैं आई थिंक उसके अंदर बैक स्टेज एग्जिस्ट करता है आई थिंक इट एग्जिस्ट व्हाट एग्जाम्स आई नीड टू पास आई आई बिलीव मैं देख भी लेता हूँ मेरे पास जो लिस्ट है लैब्स की जो अभी लोग इशू करने वाले हैं it is there so let me check quickly tu- 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 tu. Yeah, so there's a QB astronaut के अंदर जो अब तुम्हें labs इस महीने के end में मिलेंगी the ones that you will get this month ठीक है are these ones ये CKAD CKA सब दे दिए हैं KCA ने then you will say get CBA certified backstage associate right
Okay.
Caverno certified associate open telemetry certified associate अगर तुमने QB astronaut के साथ ये 5 एग्जाम निकाल लिए और फिर ये सारे एग्जाम्स कर लिए right it comes down all the way till here ठीक है ना तो देन यू आर क्लासिफाइड एज गोल्डन क्यूबी एस्ट्रोनॉट गोल्डन क्यूबी एस्ट्रोनॉट को कहते हैं कि वो ये सारे एग्जाम पास करे एंड LFCS एग्जाम्स एंड न्यू एग्जाम्स कॉल्ड द सर्टिफाइड क्यूबी एग्जाम्स फलाना फलाना देन यू आर क्लासिफाइड एज अ गोल्डन क्यूब मैं तुम्हें ये नहीं कह रहा कि गो फॉर बिकमिंग अ गोल्डन क्यूबी एस्ट्रोनॉट यू कैन डू दैट वंस यू सिक्योर द जॉब फिर तुम करो डू द लैब्स यू विल बी एबल टू क्रैक द इंटरव्यू ठीक है जब तुम इंटरव्यू के लिए जाओगे तुम अपना इंटरव्यू आराम से क्रैक कर लोगे बिकॉज तुम्हें बहुत सारा काम आता होगा जैसे तुम यहाँ जाओ ठीक है ना और तुम CK की लैब्स देखो सो CK लैब्स आर देयर राइट उसमें तुम्हें सारी प्रिपरेशन सब चीज़ें तुम्हें करवाई गई हैं सब चीज़ें तुम्हें दी गई हैं सो इफ़ यू पास दोज लैब्स ठीक है ना यू विल बी फुली प्रिपेयर्ड इंशाल्लाह तुम्हें क्विकली हमने 20 मिनट्स में पूरा एग्जाम वो करवाया कोर्स और फिर तुम्हें लैब्स दे दी हेल्म पैकेज की मैनेजमेंट एप्लीकेशन ऑब्जर्वेबिलिटी एंड हेल्थ चेक्स कैसे करोगे डीबगिंग एंड एम्फेरिकल कंटेनर्स पे कैसे काम करोगे सिक्योर एप्लीकेशन कॉन्फ़िगरेशन लैब तुम्हें अलग से पूरी दी हुई है तुम्हें कुछ नहीं करना यू डोंट हैव टू डू एनीथिंग क्लिक ऑन द कंटेनर स्टार्ट डूइंग द लैब्स SSH कर लो VNC कर लो एवरीथिंग इज देयर फॉर यू इंटरव्यू में क्या सवाल पूछे जाएंगे इट्स देयर So if you go and ask Abdi Ali, how do I set up empirical storage? Abdi Ali will say, yeah, let me check, right? But
Yes.
this system has the capability to say, I've already taught you. If you say, how do you put resource limits and quotas, right, on the Kubernetes to make sure like whatever infrastructure you have, it's distributed properly. He will think, but you would know because you're already doing all of these labs. So the labs will prepare you in a much better light, right? So if you look at the labs जो हैं तुम्हें तैयार करके लेके जाएंगे. So these are lots and lots of labs. Application security context labs, ठीक है? I'm just skipping them. Network policies and pod isolation. This is very important for security purposes, right? So we're giving you all of these labs and they are there. All you need to do is go and prepare. And if you're stuck, AI is there to help you as well. Albari is there to help you. Bari is there to help you, right? Not Albari. Albari is a project. So this is the solution for your basically going outside. So अगर तुम्हें कोई 15 से 17 हज़ार स्टार्टिंग सैलरी देगा बेस्ड ऑन योर इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग डिग्री एंड तुम्हारी जो तुमने की है और तुमने AIOps भी ख़त्म कर लिया और तुमने साथ में ये करके जाते हो और एक दो एग्जाम क्यूम्यूनिटीज के निकाल लेते हो CKD CK निकाल लेते हो तो जॉब हो जाएगी when we send you inshallah over there you will be able to pass the interview with comfort so this is my recommendation for you okay so go and complete it may Allah make it easy for you do you have any questions for me
इसके बारे में पूछना था रज़ाक लैब्स के बारे में कि इसका मतलब टाइम डोमेन भी है कंप्लीट करने के लिए
normally for new customers they have to do it within as soon as they start the course they pay
ओके
the examination fee immediately get access to the labs paying the examination fee give you access to the labs ठीक है ना फॉर दोज क्योंकि ये नया फीचर है अभी आया है तो आपको 1.5 साल
यस
के अंदर में सारी लैब सब खत्म करना है सब कुछ खत्म करना है फॉर दोज के जो अभी आ रहे हैं दोस्त के जो जिन्होंने एग्जाम खत्म कर लिया है एंड दे वांट टू डू समथिंग कि यार हमें अल रज़ाक का फ़ायदा उठाना है वी वांट टू गेट ऑन द हैंड्स ऑन एंड एवरीथिंग तो उसके लिए उनको अपनी मेंबरशिप रिन्यू करवानी पड़ेगी until they complete Al-Raza. Al-Raza can only be completed within 1 year. ठीक है ना?
Okay.
Then we send you over there because we can't send you over there until you complete. So our deal with the Saudi investment companies is we are going to train 1 million people in Saudi Arabia. 5 lakh Saudi, 5 lakh expats. Okay? That's what we're doing over there. Your fee is very less as compared to them. The Saudis over there have to pay 20,000 Saudi Riyal per annum. Right? Yes. If they submit the whole fee for 1 year, that's the fee for 1 year. If they complete the fee for the whole thing, ठीक है ना, they can get a discount for 2,000 Saudi Riyal, so 18,000 Saudi Riyal में सब हो जाएगा उनका. Right? You have an edge. तुम्हारे पास edge है. तुम कर चुके हो. Already completed that. At a fraction of cost. ठीक है ना? So 20,000 Saudi Riyal कितने हो जाते हैं?
देखना पड़ेगा.
मतलब कि अगर तुम्हें आई डोंट नो कि क्या है व्हाट इज द रियाल. तौकीर भाई अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाह. क्या रियाल रियाल कितने का चल रहा है?
15 लाख ऑलमोस्ट बन जाते हैं.
So 20,000 Saudi Riyal, right? So if I go here and say 20,000 Saudi Riyal,
75
तो 15
चल
था
रहा है.
15 लाख, ठीक है ना?
15 लाख.
So ये उनके लिए है जो वहां पर हैं, जो सऊदी हैं, ठीक है ना? जो पाकिस्तानी पढ़ रहे हैं उनकी फीस कम है. जो घर से बैठ के पढ़ेगा उसकी फीस और भी कम है. ठीक है? पाकिस्तानी, इंडियन, बांग्लादेशी जो भी हैं जो घर से पढ़ रहे हैं, ऑन साइट आएंगे, ऑन साइट की फीस डिफरेंट है बिकॉज वहाँ सऊदी कंपनी बैठी हुई है. एंड दैट्स द लेस फी. सऊदीया में अगर सिर्फ तुम बैचलर्स करने जाओ, वो स्कूल पढ़ने जाओगे, 1 लाख सऊदी रियाल फीस है. अपर स्कूल की 1,20,000 रियाल फीस है. ठीक है?
पर मंथ पर है ना.
पर एनम, पर एनम, पर एनम. राइट? सो देयर इज अ स्कूल, मिस स्कूल फी, ठीक है ना, सऊदी अरेबिया. तो अगर तुम देखोगे तो ये वहाँ एक स्कूल है जिसकी फीस है. सो अगर मैं तुम्हें स्कूल की फीस दिखाऊं तो तुम्हारे पाँव के नीचे से ज़मीन निकल जाएगी. तो मतलब ये क्या है? ये मिस्क स्कूल है. बहुत बड़ा स्कूल है. स्कूल पढ़ाता है. प्री के से केजी की 85,000 सऊदी रियाल पर ईयर स्कूल फीस है. ग्रेड 1 से 5 बच्चा पढ़ता है, 1,05,000 सऊदी रियाल फीस है. ग्रेड 6 का बच्चा पढ़ता है, 1,25,000 एक बच्चे की सालाना फीस है, 6 से लेके 12वीं तक. ठीक है? तो इसमें ये सारी चीज़ें शामिल हैं. हम ये सारी चीज़ें शामिल दे रहे हैं. हमारी फीस पता है कितनी है? 20,000 रियाल साल की. अगर साथ दे दोगे तो उसमें डिस्काउंट है. सो वहाँ पर लोग अपने बच्चों को पढ़ा सकेंगे. इससे ज़्यादा अच्छी तालीम मिल रही है. ओ लेवल भी करवा रहे हैं, सब चीज़ें करवा रहे हैं. राइट? और आपको जॉब के लिए तैयार करानी है, जॉब के लिए थोड़ी तैयार करा रहे हैं. तो सिर्फ स्कूल पढ़ाने की इतनी फीस है. उसमें
यस.
स्कूल भी पढ़ा रहे हैं, सब कुछ पढ़ा रहे हैं, लैब्स भी दे रहे हैं. कोई दे रहा है? कोई भी नहीं दे रहा. नो वन इज डूइंग दैट. So that's why the Saudis investment companies are working with us right now. कि यार ये तो तुम सारी मार्केट सब उखाड़ दोगे तुम. ऐसे yes, that's my goal to break the education sector, inshallah. Right?
इंशाल्लाह.
So you have the opportunity. अगर तुम ये सब skills लेके जाओगे, the demand is there. They need 1 million people. This is the conservative estimate. They need more than that. और ये मजदूरों की बात नहीं कर रहा. Engineers,
इंजीनियर्स.
है ना? They need engineers, tacticians, architects. ठीक है ना? ये वो हैं जो सब चीज़ों को संभालेंगे, उनके पूरे डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को. एंड ये 20 फील्ड्स हैं जिसके अंदर वो आते हैं. 20 फील्ड्स, 20 डिसिप्लिन्स. ठीक है ना? जिसके अंदर ये सारे आते हैं. 20 डिसिप्लिन्स. कौन से 20 डिसिप्लिन्स है भाई? ये कौन से 20 डिसिप्लिन्स हैं जिसके अंदर आते हैं? दीज आर द 20 डिसिप्लिन्स. इसकी जॉब्स अलग हैं. ठीक है ना? दे नीड पीपल इन AI/ML. दिस इज AI ops. Semiconductor chip design different, quantum computing different, space technology different, cyber security different, bioengineering different, energy systems different. तुम energy systems में जा सकते हो. ठीक है? हाई फ्रीक्वेंसी, बिग क्लाउड, 5G, रोबोटिक्स, ब्लॉकचेन, ये 20 डिसिप्लिन्स हैं. सो यू हैव ऑल द इंशाल्लाह opportunities for yourself to be successful. समझे भाई इंशाल्लाह. Any
Inshallah.
questions for me?
No.
चलो जज़ाकल्लाह खैर. Ask your parents to make special dua for me. اللهم إني أسألك شهادتان في المسجد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. جزاك الله خير. May Allah give you more success and
Amin.
may Allah give you make paths easier for you, and then you are successful in this world and hereafter as well. جزاك الله خير. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam.